All right, and we are live. Shalom, shalom, shalom. First thing and
Shalom.
foremost, first thing and foremost, we want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahafradash. Secondly, we want to give double honors to our elders and our apostles of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and righteousness and in sincerity. And third of all, we want to give salutations, to the hopeful elect that's out on the highways and the byways, teaching and preaching the word in truth and in sincerity. Now, the title of this lesson, which is also the topic, is going into the men of the Lord will receive spiritual power in these last days. Once again, the men of the Lord will receive spiritual power in these last days. And those men of the Lord is a small number out of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which make up the 12 tribes of Israel. A small number of each tribe, a small number of men, you know, they have been chosen to be preserved and saved from these judgments that are oh shoot. I don't know
Yeah,
why I took
Khan,
you off the
yeah.
stage.
I had got knocked out.
Oh, Con. Um, all of these different things pretty much that's coming though. The men of Yahweh Bashim Shai, they have been chosen to be saved and preserved from these things, you know, and persecution is one of those things that they are going to be saved from. Well, yeah, saved from and delivered and guided through when that actually comes upon us. There will be some of us that have to sacrifice ourselves and become martyrs, but that's a very honorable, you know, way to go, so to speak. But, as John 15 says right here, verse 18, if the world hate you, know that it hated me before it hated you. Right. So this is speaking to that small number of men, the elect out of the nation of Israel. It says, if ye were of the world would love his own, but because ye are not of the world, therefore the world hateth you. And that's why the things that we speak, which is the truth, the laws of our power, which make up the Bible, the different aspects of the scriptures from the law, which the whole Bible is the law, but the actual commandments when it comes to the dietary laws, when it comes to not lining your hairline up, you know,
Uh,
uh, women not wearing what pertains unto men, like these different things that we speak, truthfully on, we give our truthful understanding that has been given to us by Yahweh Shema Shah regarding these people in the world. The majority of our people, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they hate it. They hate everything that we speak. They hate the law that the Lord, has written for us to abide in.
mm.
So it says, and if you want to add anything too, bro, you got it.
Okay,
It
Khan,
says,
you got it.
God, it says, the world will love his own, but because ye are not of the world, therefore the world hateth you. Remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will persecute you. And that's the point, because persecution is coming. It's already here. We seeing the minds of our people being turned against us. It's already, this has been happening, but we seeing Esau Edom, the so-called white man, using his gift of deception through social media, the unicorn, using the internet and programming these people and rewarding them to go against what Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai told them to do as the children of Israel, which is obey him and him only, and they, the so-called white man, have been given the power of the earth to do this. And through them being given this power and us being in the end of their kingdom, the Lord has given them the power to pretty much amplify their gift, pretty much to go all out when it comes to the sword, when it comes to the deception, setting up different false events. All of these things are about to be magnified and amplified upon the earth, and pretty much just brought to a higher level than we've seen,
God.
And that's going into the persecution, because like we see in AI being used, and everybody want to, artificially alter things and bring photos to life and just do things that's not supposed to be done using AI. This is very low level, but we're seeing crazy things happening. So when it comes to the technology that this devil has, that he hasn't even shown us, we have to know that he has some sort of technology that's going to be able to, as to these people, undoubtedly prove that we are wrong in certain ways, whether it comes to putting our voice on some blasphemous words being preached, just putting our voice on it, one of the elders or whatever, or putting a face, having them do something on video that they didn't actually do, or having them say something. Like, these things are about to become real. It says in Revelation 2:10, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer, right? The persecution that's coming, people running up in your home with weapons, not caring about your family, not caring about you, not caring about your status or what you did in this world, but coming to you to, snatch you up or try to kill you right then and there, or, try to use your family against you, try to torture you, whatever this devil go try to pull out his back pocket. The Lord told us, don't fear these things. It says, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. Right. Getting grabbed up. We already see in the Northern Kingdom getting persecuted right now, not even specifically regarding the truth, but just, the Lord judging them because of their rebellious nature. The so-called Hispanics getting it on a heavy level right now, already getting snatched up and casted into prison, different concentration camps and stuff. It says that ye may be tried. So it says the devil shall cast some of you into prison that ye may be tried, and let me see right fast. Revelation 2:10.
Want me to read it for you? Hey,
Bro.
y'all finna say you want me to read it for you?
Oh yeah, come on.
Yeah,
The
kind.
water.
Yo, you said Revelations 2:10.
Yup.
Kind. This is Revelations chapter 2, verse 10 says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be able to like it, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be
Right.
thou faithful unto death. Yeah, so like you got it.
You are good. Because when you go into that word tried in the blue letter, some of the, and I ain't gonna read all of the definitions for time's sake, but some of the definitions means to try, make trial of, test. And it says for the purpose of ascertaining his quality, ascertaining his quality. Now, when you go into that word ascertaining, it means find out, find something out for certain, make sure of. Right. So it says make trial of, test for the purpose of ascertaining his quality. So finding out the quality that's in all of us. That's what these trials are ultimately for. That's what this persecution is going to be for. It's going to be to prove either if we are going to, pretty much fold and, forsake everything that we were taught and, pretty much forsake the Lord, or if we're going to hold fast and continue to have faith in the Lord and understand that He's controlling all of these things and
God,
just continuing to, endure and pretty much stand firm. That's what the Lord is gonna allow this persecution to befall us for. That's why He's gonna allow it to happen. Ultimately,
God,
to test us on another level than we've been tested on in these lifetimes. You know.
God. I got one for you real quick.
Yep.
This is Luke chapter 18, verse 7 says, and shall not the most high avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them. Verse 8 says, I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on earth?
Right. You want to speak on it?
Yeah, so yeah, like the brothers were just saying, man. That trialing period. It's the trialing period to test the Lord, to test your faith, man. The Lord gonna see who really believes in Him, who really, you know, uh, hearkening, to His word, to really believe the things that He said, that the things that are written. And that's that trialing period, man. And it's gonna be faced upon the whole world, and we know 2/3 of our people, they fail that test because they lack faith. They didn't practice it in the times, where they were able to, practice these things, man. You know.
Con. That's the story.
Yep.
The Lord, He's given us this grace period. And speaking of myself firstly, we pray that we are of that number that continue to endure and that, continue to hold our integrity pretty much, which
Yep.
is, staying faithful to our power. Because it's either the Lord or you living like a heathen, and the heathens have never done anything for us, and they are not our creator. So there's no, we have no obligation to them or to their ways.
God.
But I finish off in this Revelation 2, right? Well, you could
Yeah.
finish off
God.
in it.
All right. Yeah. Back in Revelations 2, and I'm gonna start at the top again. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may
Right,
be tried.
deceiver, Salakia. Because
Mhm.
that word devil going into the deceiver, who is the deceiver of the earth? Who has reclassified the image of the Lord and Savior as a white man with blue eyes and long, stringy brown hair, when the scriptures describe him as a dark-skinned man with white, woolly hair and red eyes, a very deep voice. You know, that's a deceiver. That's the ultimate deception right there. But I just wanted to throw that in there because that's
God.
the devil, the so-called white man.
Yeah. It says that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life.
Right. And that 10 days is going into, like a complete number of time, however long the Lord has you in prison or has you in whatever situation. Because outside of just getting casted into prison, you could be on the run. You could be, you know, any kind of predicament where it's unfavorable, and it could seem like it might be over, but the Lord just have you in that moment for 10 days, however long the Lord wants you there, just to try you, that tribulation. And it says, be thou faithful unto death. Right. No matter how close to death we get, because we very well may have very many near death experiences, being saved from each of them. Some brothers more than others, but we have to continue to believe in the Lord, no matter how close to death we get to. No matter how long the Lord has one of us go without eating to test us, or no matter how close that bullet was when it whistled past you, or it struck your son, or it killed somebody that your child, or whatever. Like, whatever the Lord does to us, we just got to continue to keep faith. And as it says, we will receive that crown of life, which is those new bodies, the eternal kingdom being established upon earth, us inheriting the earth, and the heathens, you know having slaves, all of those things, that's part of that crown of life that we go get if we continue to have faith no matter what.
Uh, I got one.
Yep.
This is John 12:25. It says, he that loveth his life shall lose it, and he that hateth his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal. If any man serve me, let him follow me where I am, there shall also my servant be. If any man serve me, him will my Father honor. Verse 27 says, now is my soul troubled, and what shall I say? Father, save me from this hour, but for this cause came I unto his honor. I mean, his hour, this hour.
Bro, I ain't even gonna lie. Like, reread the second to the last one right fast, cause bro,
Verse 26
yeah,
of John chapter 12, verse 26, it says, if any man serve me, let him follow me, and where I am, there shall also my servant be. If any man serve me, him will my Father honor.
right. Yahweh Shai, he went through many persecutions. He went through many different trials, you know, but he remained faithful, you know, even unto death. And that's what we are being commanded to do. That's what Revelation 2 and 10 was just saying, going into being faithful unto death. That's what Yahweh Shai did, so that's literally that's beautiful, bro. Because
Right.
that's what the Lord wants us to do. Just follow my footsteps, do what I did, and you gonna receive the reward that I received. Ultimately,
Right.
not even due to what you did, but because of my blood covering you. But just
Right.
you know do what I did to the best of your ability. That's what Yahweh Shah want from us.
hmm I'm gonna read verse 27 again. It
Yep.
says, now is my soul. Yeah, verse 27 says, now is my soul troubled, and what shall I say? Father, save me from this hour, but cause for this cause came I unto this hour.
And that's what we desire, you know. being saved from the hour of destruction, this darkness that's gloomy. I mean, that's approaching this place, this gloom that's about to completely envelop this kingdom, which is not even you know like it's carnally America, but it's spiritually many different kingdoms. It's spiritually Egypt. We was enslaved in ancient Egypt, and we had to build that place up through rigorous bondage. Same thing happened here. Spiritually, Sodom and Gomorrah, you had a lot of, man on man, woman on woman, different things like that happening, which is, one of the pinnacle spirits in this place, especially on social media. All of these different things, but we desire to be safe from all of these things. And that's why we are praying and crying out to Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, for us to be delivered from these things and for the Lord to have mercy on us in these last days,
Uh,
But let me see. Did you have any precept lined up?
yeah, I had a few. We could go. We could get into the topic at hand if you want.
Yep. What did you
If you had
you
something,
could
I can
bring
grab it for you.
you could bring out what you had.
Uh,
Well,
this is
I'll read it for you.
well, yeah, I got Isaiah 41:8.
Uh, I got you. This is the book
Con.
of Isaiah, chapter 41 and verse 8, and it reads, "But thou, Israel, art my servant, Jacob, whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham, my friend." Verse 9, "Thou whom I have taken from the ends of the earth, and called thee from the chief men thereof, and said unto thee, Thou art my servant, I have chosen thee, and not cast thee away."
Mm-hmm.
Verse 10, "Fear not thou, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. I will
Mm-hmm.
strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness."
Con. And that's what the Lord want us to that have that attitude to fear not, because He said He will help us. All right, the scriptures speak about how the Lord is a man that He should not lie. So if we as servants of how about Shemi Shah, and we was called, do His work, and we, Lord willing, we endure to the end. The Lord said He will help us, man. He said, "Be not dismayed," for the things that's about to come to pass. Esau's weaponry, what he have in his repertoire, as far as like his technology and things of that nature, where it could seem like there's no escape. But the Lord said, "Be not
Mm-hmm.
dismayed for those things, man, because I will help thee, man." And He will, He said He will uphold His right hand of His righteousness, man, because the right hand is always stronger than the left, man. All right,
Right.
and the right hand of Yahweh Shem Yahshua is gonna outweigh the left hand, which is the wickedness and evil of Esau Edom that he has prepared to come down on the children of Israel, chiefly the elect.
Yep.
The elect. Yeah, we know he gonna come for the elect. He gonna try to put his hand on the elect. But the Lord said, He's gonna help us, man.
Right.
You keep going. Unless you got
Con
a
and
point.
you said what?
Nah, you got it. Go ahead. Salaki.
I got a precept to throw in there with you too, right quick, because
Con.
that's going into the devil's great wrath. That's why he about to persecute the elect, and pretty much just why he's turning up the heat, so to speak. So this is Revelation 12 and 12. "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, For the devil, once again, deceiver, being the so-called white man who has deceived the whole earth, convinced you that the law was done away with, that you don't have to obey the scriptures and abide in the law that was given through the scriptures to the best of your ability anymore. But that the Lord don't care no more. He is the reason why you believe that. So he is obviously that deceiver. It says, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. And that's why
Mhm.
he's doing these things. Because the Lord is revealing through prophecy that his time is short. I'm going to continue in that Isaiah 41 and 10. It reads, you want me to hit 11?
Yeah, Khan.
Verse 11, behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded. They,
Right.
yup, they shall be as
Yeah,
nothing,
you gotta
and
go.
they shall be as nothing, and they that strive with thee shall perish.
Right, Khan. So, hey, all those that are what against us, they gonna be ashamed in that day because the Lord he gonna lift up a standard. All right, for His elect. All right, and He's gonna come through for His elect. Man, they gonna be ashamed, like the scriptures say, they shall be amazed at the strangeness of their salvation. All right,
Yup,
because the Lord is gonna be doing all types of miracles, wondrous things to deliver His elect men out of life and death situations, man. Things of that nature, man. Again, like the brother just brought out, like when the devil come down with great wrath, because he know that he have a short time, he's gonna he's gonna dig deep into his weaponry, man, to try to, that's why he got these AI robots, these you know, what you got, Palantir, this surveillance, because when you look at it in the carnal sense, it look like it's like, damn, how you gonna be able to escape this type of uh uh you know persecution that's gonna come down. All right, no, you're gonna escape it because the Lord is gonna lift up a standard, you know, uh,
mm-hmm.
with power, power that we never even seen or witnessed before, because the scriptures speak about a time like never before. All right,
Yup,
and we got history and stories with our forefathers and stuff like that. It's gonna outweigh all those things, man. All right, this is gonna
right.
be written history for eternity and for eternity.
And I
Con,
could
you keep going. Oh yeah, Salaki, you got it.
yeah, I could grab that Isaiah 59 that you had quoted.
Yeah.
It reads Isaiah 59 and 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. And you can speak on it.
Con, yeah. Like when the enemy comes on each side down wrath, you know, hey, the Lord gonna lift up a standard. And when you go into that word standard in the blue letter is
Yeah,
is Strong's G. I'm Salaki, it's H51 verse 26, and it goes to Strong's H5127. Noose. All right. It says to flee, to escape. All right. It says to take flight. It says to part, to disappear. All right. It says to fly. All right. It says to put the flight. All right. It says to drive hastily. It says to cause to disappear or hide. All right. And that's what the Lord gonna do. He's gonna lift up a standard. All right. In those days, man, cause you to, Esau, Edom may come in, the troops may come in at your door. All right. And the Lord just might cloak you, have you, not be seen. They come in there scratching their heads like, well, where this guy was, we thought he was here. You know what I mean?
right,
The Lord may you know transport you somewhere else, man, or cause you to take flight. We know how the scriptures speak about in Isaiah 42, because I want to grab that too. How you shall mount up as eagles. All right.
Uh-huh.
take flight. So these are things that we looking forward to, you know, when that enemy coming as a flood for the Lord to lift up a standard, you know.
Uh, you want me to continue on in that 41?
Yeah, Khan Baba Shah.
I got you. Continuing on in Isaiah 41 and 12, well, verse 12. Then shalt thou, then, I'm at Salakia, thou shalt seek them and shalt not find them, even them that contended with thee.
Mm,
They that war against thee shall be as nothing and as a thing of naught. For the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, thy power will hold thy right hand, and saying unto thee, fear not, I will help thee.
Khan, yeah,
You
the
know,
Lord said, hey, you constantly see in this script, you know, the Lord he constantly reiterating the fear not, you know. Yeah, in a sense of you know, the climax of the situation, you might have a little, you know, little type of fear because we're in this flesh. But you know, once the Lord intervenes, you know, it's you know that fear is going to be taken away. It's going to be replaced with confidence and you know, and encouraging, you know, in belief and faith. Like, okay, you know, the Lord really answered, you know, to all the things that He said He was going to do for us, man. That's why He constantly say to fear not, because He don't want us to fear these things, man. The scriptures speak about not fearing the man that's able to kill the body, but fear the man. I mean, fear the Most High that's able to destroy your body and in hell, in your soul in hell. Roughly paraphrasing, man.
yep,
Uh,
for real, bro.
you could
Because
keep going with that. Oh yeah,
yep,
so
no, you are good. Verse 14, fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye
yeah,
men
that
of
it said,
Israel.
yeah, it say, fear not that worm Jacob. And you know, a worm is defenseless, man. All right. You know, you see a worm you know, on the ground or whatnot, he's subjected to, you know, the heat of the sun, birds coming down, you know, try to, you know, devour him, eat him, you know. You know, the worm is defenseless, man, and that's how we are likening it to as worms, man, because we don't have a physical military. All right, we don't have a you know, weaponry to battle out Esau in war. No, our weaponry is in the power of the scriptures, the power of the spirit. All right, depending on your how about Shemal Shah. Yeah, we got an army, but our army is in heavens, which is the holy angels. You know, how about Shemal Shah intervening the chariots. All right, and ultimately our army is gonna be on ground when the Lord, you know, give His man that power. All right.
Right. And when it comes to
Mhm.
a worm, let's say, because you was just going into the example how the worm is subjected to the sun, you know, when it rain, they come out and get burnt up, or like
Yep.
the birds, you know, they say the early bird, they love getting them worms. So, like,
Hmm.
if you got a worm, right, and it's it's a worm, it's defenseless, and you,
Yep.
let's say you in the position of the Lord, like the only way you about to go and save that worm that's about to get scorched by the sun or that's about to get pecked out the dirt by that bird is if you go and grab
Hmm.
that worm and, you know, protect it yourself. You
Right.
know, the worm is not actually doing anything to keep itself alive. It's, you know, the person that went and grabbed it, which, you know, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is in that position with us being that worm, you know, grabbing us and causing us to do things, causing us to move this way and not do this, or to do this to preserve our lives, you know. And it's gonna be like that until the end. The Lord just guiding us and moving us through if we have the elect, you know.
Con.
It says, And ye men of fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel, I will help thee, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. Thou shalt
Mm-hmm.
thresh the mountains and beat them small, and shall make the hills as chaff.
Right, because the Lord gonna turn his men into, like, like I say, that army. All right. You go into that word teeth, it goes into, a sense of power. All right, threshing the mountains, these different, large governments, these smaller governments, the mountains and hills, man. All right, the Lord is
Mm-hmm.
gonna use his men to do that, you know.
It says, verse 16, thou shalt fan them, and the whirlwind shall carry them away, and the whirlwind shall scatter them, and thou shalt rejoice in the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and shall glory in the Holy One of Israel.
God, because we gonna rejoice. All right, we gonna rejoice when the Lord, uh, cover us in these things, because the scriptures also say, you know, hey, rejoice not that, roughly paraphrase, the elements are subjected unto you, but rejoice that your names are written in heaven. All right, because
All right.
the Lord is not gonna give that power to just anybody. Nah, it's gonna be given to the elect, and then kind of like once you receive it, you kind of it's kind of gonna be solidified. Like, okay, damn, I'm one of those men. Up until we get beaten up into them chariots, man. So we're gonna rejoice and give glory to you. How about some y'all shine those days, man? Because it's ultimately to exalt His name anyway. It's not gonna be of us, you know.
Right.
If you blessed with that, opportunity to receive power to defend yourself, to sustain yourself, to defend family members or other members of the elect. All right, it's not gonna be of a man. No, it's gonna be of the How about you Shai, to exalt His name back into the earth, so these people can fear even more. You know.
Right.
But that was it on that.
Gone. And I got Deuteronomy 20:3 to add on to that point right there, bro.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful point.
Yep.
It says, Deuteronomy 20:3, and shall say unto them, Hear, O Israel, ye approach this day unto battle against your enemies. Right. And we are approaching, that battle that's going to end it all, which is World War III.
Mm.
But even this whole process of leading up to that is a battle. We going through small and large battles every day. But Jacob's trouble is gonna be a battle in itself. The hour of temptation is gonna be a battle in itself. You know,
Yeah.
just all of these different stages, going through the plagues and the famines, having to see all of that and move around through it. It's gonna be different battles. So it say, ye approach this day unto battle against your enemies, even having them rising up against you physically, coming to try to snatch you up, or random people that's civilians or your neighbors trying to come and ransack your
All right.
house, or whatever. People just coming up against you in different ways, because they are our enemies. They're not of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua. They don't fear the Lord, even if they are the Israel. It says, ye
So,
approach this day unto battle against your enemies. Let not your hearts faint. Right. So don't let your minds, because that word heart is going into your mind. Don't let your mind pretty much fail you and, just give up and just turn off and, kind of freeze up. It
right.
says, let not your hearts faint. Fear not. Once again, the Lord telling us don't fear, and do not
Yep.
tremble, neither be ye terrified because of them. Right. Because we're going to have a lot of different enemies coming up against us. A lot of different um dangerous situations, that's gonna be happening around us and right in front of our face. Psalms 91 tell us 1,000 go fall at our side, but it won't come near us. Only with our eyes shall we behold the reward of the wicked, roughly paraphrasing. So we go be witnessing a lot of this destruction and, these terrible judgments. But we are not supposed to fear, the judgments happening to us, and feeling like the Lord just go forsake us because of what he's doing to them. And we're not supposed to let it terrify us. We just keep that fear of the Lord, of course. But, we don't put ourselves in the mindset of these people, fearing what the Lord is doing over fearing the Lord.
Okay.
It says, neither be ye terrified because of them. Verse 4, for the Lord, and this is the point, for this is why the Lord don't want us to fear. It says, for the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, your power is he that goeth with you. Right? So the Lord is always with us. If we be of the elect, right before us, guiding us our paths. It says, for the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, your power is he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies to save you. Right. So the Lord is the one fighting, against our enemies, for us, to save us. Picking up that worm out the dirt and shooing off them birds,
Yep.
You had what you had next?
I got one. This is Zechariah chapter 12, verse 7. It says, the Lord Yahweh also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. Verse 8 says, in that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as the powers, and as the angels of the Lord before them. And it says, and it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem.
Man, and we know the Lord gave King David power. He was able to strike down Goliath with a stone,
Yeah.
when Goliath was, he was a champion, as the bro got brought out at the briefing that one day. Goliath, he was a champion. He was known for being that guy, so to speak. Nobody wanted to mess with him. But
Right.
David, being a very young man, showing he was even more in a worm state. The Lord gave him that power, to be able to perfectly line up that strike and hit him with enough force to take him out right there.
Right.
The perfect shot. It
Yeah.
was all the Lord,
Yeah.
And it says, didn't it say the house of it said
Say
in the house of
want me to read it again?
Yup.
Yeah, Zechariah 12 and 8, it says, in that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem. He that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house
Right.
of
So the
David shall be.
insignificant Salakia.
Mhm. Now you go ahead.
Like the insignificant, the ones that how it's prophets in the that was in the ancient times that's not even written of. You got minor and major prophets. The most minor prophet, the most minor man of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, that's of that elect number, that was chosen to be given that power. He is going to be strengthened. And it said that it was going into the feeble being likened us as the house of David, right?
Yep.
Right. And naturally David, he was in more of a feeble state, being a younger man. you know?
Con.
So, and the Lord gave him that power in that moment.
Yep.
You can
And
continue reading.
you could liken that to today too, like, cause Esau would be today's Goliath, while
Yeah,
the members of the elect are, looked at as feeble, just average men, working 9 to 5s, just going out, they day to day and doing this work. So we looked at it as feeble. We looked at it as insignificant, on this side. But the Lord said,
right,
the house of David gonna be the power, the Alahayim. All right, he's gonna raise the meek of the earth. He's gonna raise them up. All right.
right.
hmm
Giving them
And
the
it says,
power
verse 9.
to,
It says, "Oh, Salak, you got it."
yup, giving them the power to control the elements, to do things outside of the physical body, you know.
All right.
That's ultimately what that's going into.
Uh, yep. Verse 9. It says, "And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all nations that come against Jerusalem." And that was it on that.
Wait, you mind rereading that one more time?
Yeah, Zechariah 12 and 9, it says, "And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem."
Yup. So all of the nations ultimately leading to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, you know, they are all going to be judged and destroyed and brought low and prepared to be enslaved in the kingdom of heaven for persecuting and rising up against us, and unifying themselves against us pretty much, forward in our affliction.
Uh, you had
But
anything, bro?
yeah, let me see. I'm gonna just grab. I'm gonna grab the account of Yahweh Shah. He told us that we gonna be able to do the things that he did and greater.
Yeah,
Well, you
con.
mind grabbing it for me? And
Yeah, well,
it's in John 14 and 12.
John 14. This is John chapter 14, verse 12. It reads, it says, "Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also. And greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father.
Right. He
And
that believeth.
whatsoever ye shall ask."
It says,
Oh,
wait,
you
let
got
me
it, bro.
the water. Let me see right fast though. It says the works that no, it says he that believeth on me, right? So he that believeth on me, on my name, Yahweh Shai, not Jesus Christ, my image that was written, in the scriptures, being described as a dark-skinned man with a voice as many waters and white woolly hair, very dark skin, as if it burned in a furnace, you know, that believes because Yahweh Shah was um he's written, he is the scriptures. The scriptures tell us, lo, I come in the volume of the book, it is written of me, roughly paraphrasing. Yahweh Shai, he he is the scriptures written in book form. So us believing in the entire Bible 100% and not as these other camps like to say certain parts go off or certain parts is no longer relevant or just disrespecting and throwing dirt on different parts of the scriptures or different laws. No, we believe in the 100% of the Bible, everything that comes with it, because it's Yahweh Shah. Every verse is like a different part of his body, you know? So it's like
Yup.
if you disregard one part of it, it's like you don't believe in him. So that's what that believe he that believeth on me, that's going into believing in this truth 100%, you know?
Con. It says, very, very, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father.
Right.
And
And
whatsoever, yep,
we know Yahweh Shah did many marvelous works, raising people from the dead, you know, multiplying loaves of bread and fish where there physically should have been no possible way that so many loaves of bread and so many fishes was able to be dispersed among those multitudes of people, turning, you know, and that same ability is going to be given to the men of the Lord in these last days. You know, you might have your last uh can of beans, you know, your last can of beans and your last bag of trail mix or whatever. And then, you know, you pray to the Lord, you know, to continue to give you your daily bread, continue to sustain you, don't allow you to, you know, pretty much be famished. And the Lord might have a day, you know, you finish that last can, you finish that last bag of trail mix, and then for a day or two, you just without, and then you still praying to the Lord. In that third day, you go back and open up that well, you go into the kitchen or wherever you at, and you see that can of beans and that trail mix right back there again, replenished. You know, like
yeah,
things like that are gonna be happening. Or you see 5 cans now, and you see 7 bags of trail mix sitting on the counter. You know,
yeah,
a brother might, and you know, because the people in this world, they don't think like this. You know, they don't even see things like this as being reality. Like a brother
mm,
might appear in front of you with a plate or, you know, a couple bags of groceries, so to speak, like different things that you need, and then just vanish in front of your face. And it sounds like a
con,
movie, but you know, we know with the Lord, all these things are possible. And that's what it's going into when it says, the works that I do shall ye do also, and greater shall you do. Because there's many things that the Lord did that's not even written of. One, you know, and two, the things that he did that is written of, you know, all of those things, they were ultimately written for us to know that we will see those things, and some of us will be able to do those things in these last days, you know? Because, shoot, you might be put
con,
in a situation where, you know, a brother or a family member, you know, might be put to death right there, you know, or something might happen. And then one of the accounts of Yahweh Shai raising somebody from the dead and what he did, you know, how he prayed to the Lord and just pretty much his conduct regarding that situation, it all just come back to you in that moment, and you be like, this is what I need to do. And then you
mm,
have that faith. So you pray to the Lord, and the Lord give you the power to resurrect whoever that is, you know,
mm,
through faith.
con. Uh, I'm gonna read 13. It says, "And whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If ye
Right.
ask any, so like, oh, yeah.
No, you could finish
Oh,
that.
okay, yeah. Kind 14 it says, if ye shall ask anything in my name, I will do.
Right. And that's gonna be 100%, you know, manifested in the kingdom of heaven. Because all of our prayers, everything that we desire is gonna be fully righteous. And the Lord is 100% gonna be with it and willing to give it to us even before we pray about it. But even before the kingdom of heaven, just going into that example that I had just gave, you might have, one of your children or whatever, like a brother, might, get injured, or, they might break a bone, or, you know, get put to death or anything. And then you pray to the Lord, and you praying in the names Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, as it says, and whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, that will I do. So you asking in the names Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you know, Babu Kwasha, Babu Kwasha, Babu Kwasha, resurrect, or, whatever the situation is, you praying in true sincerity, and you got the accounts from, the scriptures of the different men that went through these situations, similar situations, and how the Lord answered their prayers in it. So that gives you an extra layer of, I know the Lord, or I believe the Lord is go be with me as well. But just you asking in the names of Yahweh Bashim Shai in that true and sincere faith, as the scriptures say, the Lord is gonna do it, because ultimately it's gonna glorify Yahweh Bashim Shai, the Father, through the Son. You remember Maya Kai, how we was talking um after one of the camps, and we was with the bro
Hmm.
Aina, and we was talking about how when bros get that spiritual power, it's gonna be, because right now when the Lord do certain things or show signs, certain moments you might have to give praises in your head, or kind of under your breath, or you can't scream
Yeah.
it to the top of your lungs, and you put your all into it. But when all hell break loose, and as we getting closer to the return of Yahweh Shah, that spirit is gonna be broken, and we every time the Lord, and even when the Lord not right there showing his presence, we go be freely, specifically when the Lord perform the miracles, or allow us to perform the miracles, we go be screaming to the top of our lungs, call Allah Yahweh Bashim Shai. This is the work of the Lord. This is the power of Israel that did this. The bros that get that power are not gonna be, oh, look at me, look at my eyes, they can shoot fire, look at what I can do to
Right.
you. I can alter your mind. I can make you, shoot yourself in the foot. Nah, you know, bros. If bros saying anything close to that, bros gonna be like, look at what the Lord can do to you. Look at what the
Right.
Lord, look at what the Lord, look at the Lord. It's all gonna be, this is Yahweh Bashim Hashai doing this. This is not even
Right.
of me, but he's using me.
Yeah. That's right, bro. Uh,
Did you have any closing scriptures?
yeah, I got one closing one.
Yep.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 36, verse 6. It says, show new signs and make other strange wonders. Glorify thy hand and thy right arm, that they may set forth thy wondrous works.
You got
You
that.
got it, bro. Oh, okay, Con. Yeah, man. So, hey, we want to see those new signs, man, and those strange wonders that the Lord gonna, do in these last days, man. All right, to glorify the right hand, glorify Yahweh Shem Shai, man. And see those wondrous works, man. Something that hasn't been, uh, you know, uh, presented. in the world for a very long time, you know, and we want to see those things, man. All right, and when we do see them, our faith is going to increase on other levels, man. Levels to where we didn't even, you know, truly believe that we can reach, you know. So yeah, that was all I had there, bro. But kind, yeah, man. So yeah, we hoping to see those wonders works of Yahweh Shemel Shah within these last days, you know, to you know, eventually, you know, get us up out of here, man. And you know, enduring till, you know, those chariots come back and beam us up, man. So, you know, hey, hey, that's what we looking forward to, and that's why we continue to push and, you know, stand stiffly for the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, you know, so we can be blessed with these things, man, you know, to receive help and salvation from our power, man, you know, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, because we're gonna need him. We're gonna need to count on him within these last days, man. So yeah, I think we still let me see real quick. So like it. Hey, so with that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. We want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Hey, again, we want to give double honors to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone, who do well. Peace and blessings to the house of David elect. Shalom.